Inside the Deck is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, the best online retailer for Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product, and GatheringMagic.com, your place to explore the game.
When I was a young kid, art was the only thing I was ever any good at. And my parents very much encouraged me to fulfill that role. And when I was a child, I used to read a lot of science fiction, and my dream would be to actually do something like that for a living, and I am literally living that dream. My name is John Avon, and I'm a freelance illustrator. It was entirely a chance thing. I was working in a studio with a bunch of friends, and I wasn't going to be going in that day, but I actually did go in, and there was a lady who was interviewing one of my colleagues, and I happened to show her my work, and I had never even heard of Magic the Gathering. In fact, I was even considering not working because I didn't know what Magic the Gathering was, and that's about 18 years ago, and I'm still doing it, so that's the way life goes. You sometimes are in the right place at the right time. My first actual specific commission for Wizards of the Coast was the Mirage Purple Mountain. And all I remember at the time is that the lady said, "Can you just paint us 4 mountains, but make sure that they're all slightly different?" Whereas of course now, when you're given an assignment, it's all a lot more tightly briefed. Whereas in the early days, you were virtually allowed to do what you wanted to do, whereas now it's a lot more tight. In the old days, I used to do everything by hand. I used to paint. These days, since the mirrored-in block, I still draw everything out, but then I scan it in and I use Adobe Photoshop. But the marks I make, like a lot of the paintings behind me, when I'm making marks, because I know how paint performs, I'll be making gestures which I know are the gestures of paint. That's why my artwork looks like it's done by hand, and that's because I know how paint performs if you're using a paintbrush. I was aware that there was a lot of passion to do with getting the art right, and that's one of the beautiful things about Magic the Gathering, is that they're very aware that there's the game, which is fantastic, but they make sure that the artwork is very complementary. And one of the things I feel very good about is that it's brought art to people who would not normally by default be aware of art. So hopefully it's opened up a lot of eyes towards that there is actually a whole area of pictures which people would not normally think about. I know I've done hundreds and thousands of illustrations. Every illustration I do, particularly for Magic, it's a voyage of discovery, and well, like the title of my upcoming book, Journeys to Somewhere Else, every time I do a Magic card, I'm on a journey and I really don't know where I'm going to go. So I'm still extremely excited when I get to that early stage where I'm trying to work out how the illustration is going to go, because I myself don't know what journey I'm going to be going on. And in my book I'll be talking about that thing, which is every single time it's completely different. That's why it's such a fresh experience. I don't know if that answers your question, but it just feels very like I'm part of something that feels very, very special.